Hey peeps, how's it going? And today we have the conclusion to Drew's free agent targets. Today we are talking about centers. This is actually a position I'm looking very deeply into. And you need to find a solid replacement for Drummond. Because Drummond, I should say, is foul prone. The refs call a lot of knick-knack fouls on him, and he does make a lot of dumb fouls at the same time. So between those two mixtures, you have to find a solid replacement for Drummond. So let's see what I can dig up for us, and let's get this video started.
Are you ready?
So right off the bat, we are talking about Robin Lopez. Now, he has started the last few years for Chicago. He's very efficient, and he's not a fancy player at all. He's an underrated rim protector, and, he can get you a couple dirty buckets. It's not going to be pretty. I wish he would shave his head, but I like to have a guy named Can I try that again? Sideshow Bob on our team. He'd bring a lot of toughness, and he's a very vocal guy. If the refs make a bad call, he's fine to get teed up. But, you want a guy like that because he wants to win. And, he'd be a good guy to get a backup spot for Drummond because he can play a lot of minutes and be productive. So that's really what I'm looking forward to on this list. And, I just like him. If Milwaukee re-signs Brook Lopez, he would be guaranteed to play his brother 4 more times. He played him 4 times this season since he was on Chicago. But he comes to Detroit with a real chance to help take this team to the next level and make the Pistons an effective, hard-nosed defensive team and really be given a bigger role. I know it sounds weird from going from a starter to a bench player, but he would be more productive with the Pistons. Trust me. Javale mcgee, Michigan native, I can't believe I'm going to say this, a very good player. Obviously, we are getting a huge steal acquiring multiple times shacking a full MVP. That's a tongue twister. But no, joking aside, he is from Michigan. I believe he is from Flint. And, the LA thing didn't work out. So I imagine a lot of LA's free agents are not coming back. And unfortunately, it looks like a spiraling plane. There we go. I cannot talk. God, I gotta get this straight. LA has their problems. There's no denying that. Magic stepping down. Feels like the team got thrown underneath the bus with LeBron wanting to trade them all for AD. So with LA going out of control, a lot of the guys are probably going to be moving. And this is a guy I think we should have brought in a long time ago. Unfortunately for him, I think he was replaced by Tyson Chandler. I'm not sure. I didn't watch the Lakers at all last season because I knew they weren't going to be good. But this guy brings a lot of shot blocking and rebounding to the second unit. And he is also, like Lopez, a guy you can give a lot of minutes to. And he's going to mess up and give you some, shacking a full moments. But at the same time, he makes up for it with just absolutely insane rejections. I mean, you guys can see the highlights of this guy being a clown and doing a lot of dumb stuff. But, dude, look at his dunk contest. Look at all the shots he has thrown. He literally snags balls out of air. Giggity. If there was ever a time to giggity, that was one of them. But this guy would be a very under-the-radar move, and I think he might give us a hometown discount. Unlikely, but don't piss where you eat. We're going to say that so it doesn't get taken. Okay, Dwayne Dedmon. Not much to be said here. Now, a lot of you guys might not know Dwayne Dedmon. He has been in Atlanta. He's played for the Spurs. He's not a flashy guy at all. But what he can do for this team, He's a very good three-point shooter, an okay rim protector. In the regards of, I guess to say, giving him large minutes, I would not recommend. But he can be very good in short stints. Now, if you can get him for $2 million, that would be ideal. Again, I'm not sure what anyone's going to be offering him. I'm not sure if there's a high market for him. But, you know, he gives us a hard time. You know, he is a stretch big, which we have a tough time guarding stretch bigs. So hopefully that can incorporate to other teams having a hard time guarding us. And, you know, with him and Thon, you know, Thon would really be the main guy off the bench. But this guy is a leader. He is more like the Zaza and Jose leadership. But, you know, playing with San Antonio, you get a lot of playoff experience. So, I don't know. This is probably one of the worst guys on the list, to be honest with you. Thomas Bryant is probably, in my opinion, the least well-known guy on the list. Maybe it's between him and Dwayne Dedmon. I don't know. But I got to watch this guy play for the Wizards last season. And pretty much a storm cloud. Him and Bradley Beal were really the main bright spots for the Wizards season. Now, this guy, I believe, don't quote me, averaged like 10 and 8 last season. And he was starting. Now, this guy can score the ball and be a very good bench player for the Detroit Pistons and a quality backup for Dre. Now, this guy can play power forward. He's not really a true center. He is undersized and, you know, does a little bit of everything. Not much to say about this guy. He would really be a guy we can give the ball to, go get a bucket for us. And I do believe he is on the younger side. Again, I do not know much about him. I've seen him play for the Wizards, and he was a scrappy dude and, you know, was very effective in the games that I got to watch him play. But, you know, I think you get him for cheap. He's got a lot to prove. I do know he played for the Lakers and the Wizards, so he's bounced around a little bit in the early stages of his career. Hopefully he can find a home in Detroit and be very effective. Now, last on the list is Enes Kanter. Okay? Now, I think he is overrated. I'm not a big fan of him, okay? But what I have seen him do in Portland, in a time where they lose their center to a gruesome injury, and, you know, CJ McCollum was a little bit injured, not fully healthy yet. He was there and gave them a spark. And he's doing very well in the playoffs right now. They are still going on right now. The series is tied 1-1 in Portland at the time of this video. So that could be totally different at the time you guys are watching this. I don't know. But as of right now, he has done very well for Portland. And he could be our sixth man. He could be a guy we bring in because Dre is going to get in foul trouble, like I said earlier in this video. But he can produce, he can score, he can rebound, do a little bit of everything. So with that being said, that is the kind of guy you're looking for in your center. Not a great three-point shooter, but, you know, he can go on the blocks. He's got a good mid-range game. He gets a lot of offensive and defensive rebounds. So that's what you're looking for. He is a fake tough guy. That's what I call him. He's a guy who wants to start fights, but not really. It's just more for intention. But I don't know, I'll take it where I can get it. You know, the problem with him is since he's had a good season and a lot of guys are watching him play in the playoffs right now, there might be teams out there offering him a big contract. I don't think he's worth it. He's not that kind of player. He's a guy that we could use off the bench for a reasonable price. I'm not overpaying for him, but he might be one of the better guys to go ahead and go get. So who knows? So there's my top 5 list for centers. So let me know how you feel about that one. Again, that's a position we might look for in the draft. I don't know. But that's definitely a hole we need to fill. Giggity. So let me know how you guys feel about this list. Again, these are just best fits for the Pistons. So take that as you will. But Instagram, Twitter, links in the description. That's all I got for you. Now that the whole free agency is behind us, I should say, the next videos will be draft and potentially moves I'll be breaking down for the future that we do make. So trade rumors will probably be involved in there because that is after the playoffs getting started. So should be a fun off season, but let's get this started. And I'll see you peeps in the next one. Peace.